One of the things that we do that we love and we love to do as a church is to share the stories of what God's up to in our community. And so for those of you that have recently joined us here in Missio Mesa, God has been ridiculously generous in the way that he's allowed us to play a part in the fabric of this city. Like the mile, if you dropped a pin here and put a mile radius around, that was an area that was prayed over 7 years ago before we did anything down here. And God has been ridiculously gracious in allowing us to see new works, to see new family members, to see new missionaries sent, and to see new businesses started that seek the flourishing of the city. And so I'm going to let Dr. Kevin LeBlanc. Has anybody in this room ever called you doctor?
I think a couple.
Good. And so, yeah, it's up there. It's doctor. So if you didn't know that. I have a few questions just to let him share. You guys say what's up to Kevin. Yeah, Kevin serves with the older kids, 4th through 7th. So if you see them fist pumping because he's up here, they don't do that when I step up here, but they love you. But I had a few questions for you. How did you end up in Missio?
It's a great question.
Thank you. I appreciate
you're welcome. Yeah, well said. So my wife and I moved from upstate New York in January. And so I'm from New Hampshire, way on the East Coast, and she's from Pennsylvania. And I think the story of how we ended up at Missio starts with how we ended up with Arizona. And so we really felt called to this region, specifically the Valley. And so I've only felt like a certain way about a place being home 3 times in my life. One was choosing an undergrad at Gordon College, where I met Kari, my wife, and God really shaped what mission looks like in my life, as I was able to help serve as a young life leader for 4 years there. And then the second time was post-grad in upstate New York. And at first it was just going to be a chiropractor and go to chiropractic school, but it really turned into growing my spiritual walk, growing in my understanding of what the Spirit sounds like, growing in my understanding of how God can really use myself and Kari in our life, and really just growing in that and my understanding of Him. And then the third time was visiting out here. And so I'm not really sure what that means or where that's going to take us, but I just know that this is where we're supposed to be. And then Mesa specifically, there was something that Kari was feeling about bringing us towards Mesa, and so we're like, fine, let's go with Mesa. It was cheaper than the other areas too, so that didn't hurt. And then as far as specifically Missio, Kari and I were going to pick up some raw milk at Inspire Farms, and we met someone holding a puppy, and absolute perfect conversation starter, and that was Coral. And so she was holding her puppy, and I was like, can I pet your dog? And she's like, do you want to hold it? Because she was trying to sell it. We didn't we didn't end up buying it, but one thing led to another, and Kari and Coral hit it off really well, and then Missio came up, and we got the invitation and came in here, and we've loved it ever since.
Cool. So see that? Bring puppies where you go. You didn't learn that in your evangelism class, did you? Puppies and children, carry them around. One of them hand them off a lot more freely than the other. Let you decide which is which. But yeah, so I want to give you a chance to share a little bit about your business, but how do you see your business contributing to the flourishing of Mesa? So you've picked a spot on purpose, it's home, like you're found a little band of disciples to live with, but how do you see your work meshing with Mesa and being a place where it can flourish?
Yeah, so I'm a chiropractor, if you didn't know. And so one thing that chiropractors do really well is facilitate health. They do that by allowing the nervous system to work better. And so it's different from your typical medical doctor, which uses drugs and surgeries and things like that. However, at a deeper scale, I truly believe that through chiropractic medicine, it really reflects how we were created. And so our bodies were created to have self-healing, and then now there's a disconnection between that, and then we're not able to self-heal, and so disease comes into the body through stress and inflammation and all those types of things, and so chiropractic can really help with that. And so one of the ways that I believe that Rooted Chiropractic can help out in the Mesa community is just by helping to foster in a healthier community. But more importantly, I feel really called to give 50% off all services to those in ministry. Because I believe that healthy pastors equal healthy churches, which then can bring in transformation through the whole region. And I think that's something that we're really lacking, not just here in Arizona, but as America, is healthy churches. And that's something that I really want to help start to facilitate and help to foster, is really healthy churches led by healthy people of God who are on a mission to help bring transformation to the Valley.
Sounds like a mission statement, didn't it? Love it. Yeah, I don't have any other questions. This is the open one. Is there anything else that you want to share?
I like you guys a lot. Yeah, and it's been really encouraging to just be so welcomed into a community. Sometimes when you're new to a place, it's hard to make friends, and it's something that we've prayed upon, is a community that we could help grow, but also that could help grow us. And I think that's something that we really found here. And just the friends who have invited us into their homes, which can be the hardest thing, to invite a stranger into your home, and they've done it time and time again, is something that we're really grateful for. So thank you guys.
I love it. You can clap for him. Go ahead. You're allowed to. Clap for Jesus working through him. Don't go anywhere. Kari, can you come up here? You guys can not be on the cold floor, but the carpet if you want. Something we do firmly believe is that as we send women and men out into the world, into their various vocations, they are sent by God and sent with God into those spaces. So whether it's a teacher or a medical doctor that does surgeries, or a chiropractic who works on a nervous level, or a teacher or a mom or a dad, whatever the vocation is that God's called you into, that's not like your everyday stuff and then you get to go do the spiritual stuff later, and that's the real Jesus stuff. But we believe that everyday stuff is the Jesus stuff, and the Spirit of God fills you for that. And so just like we would send a missionary out who was going to plant churches in the furthest regions of other parts of the world, we believe that God set Kevin and Kari apart to do this work here in Mesa, and we want to pray for them as well.